Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now I've just got in the door from the Essex Arachnid in Invert show in Brentwood. Now I went last year and it was reasonably busy last year, but this year really was quite packed. So we had to queue up even though we was an hour late. But it's definitely worth it. Really nice venue as well. So managed to pick up the other two Asian arboreals on my list. So I'm really pleased about that. Now, I wasn't going to get them as slings, but having looked at multiple websites, there just doesn't seem to be adults available. I think because they're such stunning tarantulas, once they mature, I think people just like to keep hold of them and, for breeding projects and things. But anyway, I've got them anyway. So they are Asian arboreal, so they should grow quite fast. So let's get into the video and see what these other two remaining arboreals are.
So I'm going to be popping our two Asian arboreals into these two little deli cups. Now ideally I would have two that size, but I'm going to have to make do with just one of those and a slightly bigger one. Now with your arboreal slings, I do like to give them a little bit of space anyway, so I'm going to go for a very simple setup, just a bit of cork bark, and I like to put a little bit of moss just down the back of the cork bark there. Now, being such small spiderlings, I would just wet the moss just for them to get their water. So a little bit of a small setup for a water dish. But I find that all my arboreal slings, they do pretty well with this setup. So the same again with just a little pot here, a little bit of moss for the moisture, and also they like to tuck behind it as well.
So here we have our two remaining Asian arboreals. Now you might be expecting there to be a pokey on this list, but this is a no pokey zone. So first up we have flamingo killers species ackaya. Now I'll pop a picture up on the screen and you can see that it's a really striking looking tarantula. Now, you don't see too many yellow tarantulas and it really sets off that tiger pattern. So really nice one, this one. Super stoked to have one. And last but not least on our list, this is another Flamingochilus. This is the everetti. Now it's a very similar looking tarantula to the ackaya, but it's completely different colour. So has a more purple tinge to the legs. So really nice tarantula, and also they get absolutely massive. So a real face hugger of an arboreal tarantula. So let's get these guys rehoused, see how they behave.
So first up we have the ackaya. Now luckily it's sitting on the top here, so hopefully we'll be able to just steer it with our little paintbrush. Now being an arboreal, sometimes they do like to go for a bit of a lap around the top of the container. Now these guys, they can be a little bit defensive, these ones, but just make very gentle contact. Oh, there you go. Now it could be forgiven for being a little bit ratty because it's been bouncing around in my backpack on the way home. So, you can see it's trying to have a go there. You can't see any of that yellow coloration yet, but I'm sure it will soon start to come out after a few molts. We'll try again. I think once it realises it's not something to eat, it should be alright. Still trying to have a little go. Oh. Have these really quick jittery movements. There we go, straight into the moss. Now it is a little bit of a big setup for this size, but I'm sure it will do okay. Now on to the everetti. Maybe this one might be a little bit better behaved. Now I can just about see a hairy leg down the bottom there. So I'm going to have to dig this one out a little bit. Now the easiest way is probably just try and grab this whole clump of substrate. Maybe the spider might come with it, but probably not. No, the spider's in the bottom there still. But at least we can see it now and try and manoeuvre it. Might be slightly bigger than the ackaya. It's trying its best to hide in the bottom there. Now, it hasn't gone for a strike like the ackaya. I mean, with your old worlds, more often than not, they will prefer to just run away than to confront you. There we go. That was fairly straightforward. Straight trying to make itself disappear. I say, ideally, I would have had two of the small pots, but only had one small one available. But they'll do fine in here. So I like to give my arboreals a little bit more space. Just try and get a look at it. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit bigger, I think, than the ackaya. Oh, we've got a bit of a runaway here. Right, don't panic. We managed to catch it up again. It wasn't easy, but
So there you go. No pokies on this list. Just two Flamingoculus and the Aspidoculus rufus. Now, hopefully, it won't take too long for these guys to show their stunning colours. Being Asian arboreals, now they do grow quite quick normally. So, but really stoked to have them in the collection. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you do like it. Maybe consider subscribing, and you'll see me again soon.